vasati gila nagara vraje.
Tatai tatai bhajalako gana gana tahe jagira ro.
Tatai tatai bhajalako gana gana tahe jagira ro.
Preme dala dala sonera anga charame nupura bhari.
Preme dala dala sonara anga charane nupara bhaje.
Mukunda madhava yadava hari polena bolore vadana bori.
Mukunda madhava yadava hari bolena bolore vadana bori.
Mukunda madhava yadava hari bolena bolore vadana bori.
Mukunda madhava yadava hari bolena bolore vadana bori.
Michini davasa gelore rati Dvivasa sharira saji.
Nichini dabashi gelore rati divasa sharira saji.
Himona durlabha manava deho paiya kikoro bhavana keho.
Hemana durlabha manava deho paya kikoro bhavana heho.
Ebena bhajila yashoda sute charame pori belaji.
Ebena bhajili yashoda suta charame pori belaji.
Udita tapana hoy lea stadina ke lobole hoy bebiya.
Udita tapana hoile asta, dinagi loboi hoi bebiasta.
Tabe keno ebe alasa hoy nabajari doya raje.
Tabe kino ebe alasa hoi nabajari doya raje.
Jivana nitya janharasar tahe nanavida vipadabha.
Jivana anyatya jana hasar tahe nanavida vipadabha.
Namashaya kori yatane tu takaha apana kaje.
Namashraya kori jatane tumi takaha apana kaje.
Jivera kalyana sadhana kam jagate asi madhurana.
Jivera kalyana sadhana kam jagate asi madhurana.
Avijjati mera tapana rupe takaha rigaga gane viraje.
Avidyati viratapana rupi vigagagani viraje.
Krishna nam shuddha koriya pan jurayo bhakati vinoda pran.
Krishna nam sudha koriya pan jurao bhakati vinoda pran.
Krishna nam shuddha koriya pan jurayo bhakati vinoda pran.
Krishna nam sudha koriya pan jurao bhakati vinoda pran.
Nam bina kichu nahi ko a chauda bhuvana mahage.
Nam bina kishu nahi ko ara chauda bhuvana maje.
Nam bina kichu nahi ko chauda bhuvana mahage.
Nam bina kishu nahi ko ara chauda bhuvana maje.
Ji jago Gora Chandra Bole.
Jago Gora Chandra Bole.
Kota Nidra Yao Maya Isachira Ko
Kota Nidra Jao Maya Pishachi Rakore
Pujibo Bolia Esi Samsara Vichare
Pujibo Bolia Esi Samsara Vichare
Bulia Rohile Tu Avidyara Bore
Bulia Rohile Tu Avidyara Bore
Tomare Loi Ite Ami Hainu Avatar
Tomare Ite Ami Hainu Avatara
Ami Bina Bandhu Kaya Chetoma
Ami Bina Bandhuara Kya Tomara
Inicheo Shodhi Maya Nasi Badolagi
Shodhi Maya Nasi Badolagi
Hari Nama Maha Mantra Lao to me Mahari
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 Pakati Vinoda Prabhu Charani Poriya
Bhakati Vinoda Prabhu Charane Pariya
Say Hari Nama Mantra Loilo Mariya
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 Jai Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki
Jai.
You already read the Ruski, so I'll just read the English quickly. Again, the songs of Bhaktivinoda, Prabhupada put great stress. He sang them personally a lot, but he also asked Vishnu John to make up melodies. And he was very happy when the translations came out, because they give us a full Vedic understanding in a very simple way. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur is completely realized, and he's putting it in a very simple way for us. When the tinge of red on the eastern horizon heralded the sunrise, the jewel of the twice-born Lord Gaurasundar immediately awakened. Taking the devotees with him, he went all over the countryside, visiting the towns and villages of Nadia. The mridangas resounded tatai, tatai, and the cymbals chimed in time, and Lord Gauranga's footbills jingled as his golden form trembled slightly in ecstasy of love of God. Lord Chaitanya called out to the townsfolk, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping, and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouths with the vibration of the holy names Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, and Hari, chanting without offense." Uselessly sleeping means because they're just resting up to get up for another day of sense gratification. Devotee sleeping is not useless. It's necessary. But we apologize in Krishna, and we should. I'm sorry I have to. Prabhupada said, "I hate sleep, it's wasting time." But he didn't really sleep. But we need to sleep so we can have energy to do service. The materialist is sleeping to have energy for sense gratification. So that's why it's called useless. Everything they do is really useless because they're earning money for sense gratification, they're eating to get power, they're taking medicine. Everything they're doing is so they can have more sense gratification. They're doing even yoga asanas not so that they can get to, to all the meditation, all those things, but so that they can have more sense gratification. That's why you have achieved the rare human body. Don't you care for this gift? They already read the Russian.
Yeah.
If you do not serve the darling of Yasoda, great sorrow awaits you at death. Each time the sun rises and sets, a day passes and is lost. Then why do you remain idle and refuse to serve the Lord of the heart? Understand this essential fact. Life is temporary and full of all kinds of miseries. That's from Bhagavad Gita, right?
It is Bhagavad Gita.
What's the verse?
Какой стих?
Who knows?
Кто знает?
Krishna says it's temporary. Dukhalayama Shasvatam. He made it that way. Take shelter of the holy name as your only business. Desiring to bless all souls, the sweet name of Krishna has descended in the material world and now shines like the sun in the sky of the heart, destroying the darkness of ignorance. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name of Krishna and thus satisfy the soul of Bhakti Vinod. There is nothing but the holy name within the 14 worlds. Lord Gauranga is calling, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping souls. You have slept so long in the lap of the witch Maya. You came in this world, birth and death, saying, my Lord, I will certainly worship you, but you have forgotten this promise and remained in great ignorance. I have descended just to save you, except for me, who is your friend. I have brought the medicine to eradicate the disease of illusion. Now pray for this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and take it. Pray for it and take it. Very good advice. Bhakti Vinod fell at the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga, and after begging for the holy name, he received the Maha Mantra. Take it. See, sometimes we pray for things sometimes, but then we don't take it when it comes. It doesn't come in exactly the form that we were expecting. So we think that's not what it. It's not the mercy, or that's not. So there's a saying like, I prayed for. Can't remember how it goes. I prayed for something and God gave me trouble, Everything I asked for gave me like the opposite. But that's mercy to get us to a higher platform. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22. In text number 5?
Yes. 5.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Namottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayam Mudirayed.
Tato Jayam Mudirayed.
Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Okay. Idam Bhagavatam Nama.
Idam Bhagavatam Nama.
Puranam Brahma Samhitam.
Puranam Brahma Samhitam.
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nishayasaya Lokasya
Vishesaya Lokasya
Danyam Shvastayanam Mahat.
Danyasaya Mahat.
This Bhagavatam is auspicious for everyone.
Это Бхагаватам благоприятен для всех.
And it gives all auspiciousness and everything anybody wants.
Благо всем, все, что
Okay. Tava
хотят.
Tava
Sandarshanad
Sandarsana
Eva
Eva
China
China
Me
Me
Sarvasam Shaya
Sarvasamshaya
Yat
Yat
Swayam
Swayam
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Pricha
Pricha
Dharmam
Dharmam
Aha
Aha
Narikshisho
Virakshisho
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Nami Sarvasamshaya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pricha
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya
Dharmam Aha Nirakshisho.
Dharmam Aha Virakshisho.
Somebody else?
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Tava Sandarshanadeva
China me sarva samshaya
Shina Me Sarva Samshaya
Yat Svayam Bhagavan Pritya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pricha
Dharmamaha Virakshisha
Dharmam Aha Virakshisho.
Tava Sandarshanad Eva
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Chinname Sarva Samshaya
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Yat Svayam Bhagavan Pritya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya
Dharmam Aha Rirakshisha
Dharma Mahavirakshacha
Tava Sandarshanat Eva
Tava Sandarshanameva
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pricha
Dharmam Aha Virakshisho.
Dharmam Aha Nirakshisho
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Tava Sandarshanameva
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pricha
Dharma Mahari Rakshisho
Dharma Maha Nirakshisho
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Tava Sandarshanadeva
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Chiname Sarva Samshaya
Swayam Bhagavan Pritya
Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pricha
Dharma Mahari Rakshisho
Dharma Maha Nirakshisho. All right, beautiful. Tava,
Tava
your
Your, тебя,
Тебя
Sandarshanat,
Sandarshana
by sight,
by sight, увидев,
Увидев
Eva,
Eva
only,
only, только,
Chinaha,
Chinaha
resolved,
resolve, разрешил,
Radhishu
me,
Me
my,
Mai
Sarva Samshaya,
Sarva Samshaya
all doubts,
all doubts, все сомнения,
Все
yet,
я,
inasmuch as,
inasmuch as, поскольку,
Поскольку
Swayam,
Своям
personally,
personally, лично,
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan,
your lordship,
your lordship, повелитель,
Pricha,
придя,
lovingly,
lovingly, с любовью,
С любовью
Dharmam,
Dharmam,
duty,
duty, долг,
aha,
explain,
explained,
объяснил,
Nirakshisho,
Virakshisho,
of a king anxious to protect his subjects.
the king actions to the subjects, царя, стремящегося защитить своих подданных.
Царя, стремящегося защитить своих подданных.
Translation. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects.
Перевод. Когда я увидел тебя, все мои сомнения рассеялись, ибо ты, мой господин, милостиво объяснил мне, в чем заключается долг царя, намеренного защищать своих подданных.
Purport. Manu described herewith the result of seeing a great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with saintly persons, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight he requested this humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it, and by his grace we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. Thus it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, one's life's mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there's an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to dissuade oneself from the common man, disassociate oneself from the common man. Because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls.
Комментарий. Здесь Мана рассказывает о том благе, которое приносит человеку общение с великим святым. Господь Чайтанья говорит, что к общению со святым человек должен стремиться, со святым человеком должен стремиться каждый, ибо подобающее общение с такой личностью даже в течение одного мгновения дает человеку возможность достичь высшего совершенства. Если кому-нибудь посчастливится встретить на своем пути святого и получить его милость, он достигнет цели, ради которой ему было дано человеческое тело. В справедливости слов Ману автор этих строк убедился на собственном опыте. Мне выпала удача встретить на своем жизненном пути Вишнупаду Шри Сримад Бхактисиданта Сарасвати Госвами Махараджа. И во время первой же нашей встречи он попросил меня проповедовать его учение в странах Запада. Для меня это было полной неожиданностью, но так или иначе он хотел этого. И теперь, по милости своего духовного учителя, я выполняю его указания. Так я получил возможность заниматься трансцендентным служением, что спасло меня и освободило от необходимости заниматься материальной деятельностью. Это еще раз доказывает, что встретив святого человека, поглощенного служением Господу и заслужив его благосклонность, мы получаем возможность исполнить миссию своей жизни. То, чего нельзя достичь в течение 1000 жизней, можно обрести за одно мгновение, если нам посчастливится встретиться со святой личностью. Поэтому Веда призывает нас стремиться к общению со святыми и избегать общения с обыкновенными людьми, так как даже одно слово, произнесенное святым человеком, способно освободить нас из материального плена. Духовное совершенство, которого достиг такой человек, наделяет его могуществом, позволяющим тотчас даровать обусловленной душе освобождение. Маном признается, что теперь все его сомнения рассеялись, потому что Кардама милостиво рассказал ему о различных обязанностях индивидуальных душ.
Om Gana Timirandasya Gunagana Shalakaya Chakshura Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavashat Shri Rupam Sajajatam Sahagana Raguna Tanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Desatarane Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namani Madhu Jojala Premaja Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namo Varshavanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tadane Rupa Nuga Viruda Apasiddhanta Dvanta Hadane Namo Gorakishoraya Satchivaragya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padambujaya Te Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchit Ananda Namane Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Rupa Nuga Varayate Gora Virbhave Bhume Stram Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Jagannataya Te Namaha Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Trishe Namaha Panchatatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sudatopangor Mama Mandar Matergati Mat Sarvasya Padambojo Shri Shri Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Kalpadrumada Shimanrat Nagara Singhasanasto Shri Shri Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prestalivi Savyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasaram Bhivam Sivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venu Sanar Gopi Gopinatha Shri Estunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Tat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurundina Tarane Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Ajaiva Me Visatu Manasaraja Hansam Prana Prayama Samaye Kapavatta Pittai Kantavaro Dhanavido Smaranam Kutaste. That's a very nice prayer that Prabhupada often chanted. I remember when I'm traveling Sankirtan, I fixed up the van, and I put those days was cassette player. And we didn't have very many cassettes of Prabhupada at that time. So I had one that had some bhajan or something. And then very loud it would come on. Krishna Tvadiya Padapanka Javanjaranta Ajaiva Me Visatu Manasaraja Hansan. Really loud. And it didn't have any translation. So I really liked it. It really knockout, but I always wondered what it was. So sometime later we found out. It's Yamunacharya. And it's saying, let the swan of my mind be entangled in the lotus feet. The swan sticks his head in the lotus flower and pushes it underwater, and then There's some kind of milk in there. You can get out that without getting the water.
Лебедь, он окунает голову.
That's why you say a swan-like man.
Есть какой-то вид, ну, типа молока,
can
который он может
take the nectar out without getting all the dirty stuff.
Без того, чтобы пить воду грязную, которая там вокруг.
Swans always live in
Есть люди,
very
подобные лебедям,
clean place.
взять что-то чистое, не принимая всю грязь. Лебеди не всегда любят очень чистые места.
So we heard from Prabhupada's servants that he would often just say that.
От слуг Прабхупады, что он часто просто произносил эту молитву.
But when he translated, he said, "Let me die now."
Но в переводе он говорит, пусть я умру сейчас.
You know, while I can still chant.
Пока я могу еще повторять.
So I'm thinking more and more how important it is.
Я все больше и больше думаю, как это важно.
Not necessarily we're suicidal, but
Не значит, что мы у нас тенденция к самоубийству.
you let me die when I can still chant.
Позволь мне умереть, пока я могу.
Because otherwise, you know,
Потому что иначе
everything can become choked up.
все, мы можем задохнуться,
and sickness and
горло
disease.
может быть.
But Krishna always protects devotees.
Но Кришна всегда защищает преданных.
But anyway, it's a very nice prayer.
Это очень
Easy to
хорошо.
learn.
Её легко выучить.
At least some prayers I can never learn, and others I can learn very
Некоторые
easily,
молитвы я никогда не могу
Never
выучить,
know why.
некоторые очень легко.
even though the words are
Хотя
practically the same.
слова практически одинаковые.
So here, the king is completely satisfied. He didn't say very much to him.
Он ему много-то не сказал.
Of course, he's, you know, next to Lord Brahma, he's probably the most intelligent person in the universe. Swayambhuva Manu.
Своему Ману после Брамы это, наверное, самая разумная личность во Вселенной.
So he doesn't need like long
То есть ему не нужны
repetition of
длинные
can
повторения,
understand quickly.
чтобы понять быстро.
But also by the saintly people,
Но также святые люди,
they have some effect.
у них есть определенное воздействие.
Many devotees talk about their experience with Prabhupada,
Многие преданные говорят о своем опыте с Прабхупадой.
that their mind was all disturbed, they thought they had so many problems.
Был полностью в замешательстве, они думали, что у них столько проблем.
This especially in the early days
Особенно
when
в первые дни.
Prabhupada just had an open door, you know,
У Прабхупады просто была открытая дверь.
and in India especially.
Особенно в Индии.
And they would go in to,
Они заходили,
Tell
чтобы
Prabhupada all the
сказать Прабхупаде все свои проблемы.
but then they would forget the
Они
problem.
забывали свои проблемы.
And just right away
Они сразу...
they would forget,
Ну, они просто
couldn't remember what the problem was
не могли
anymore,
вспомнить, в чем проблема.
without ever saying it,
Вообще даже не
become
проговорили.
satisfied.
Они
And that's the
просто
power of the
это могущество
saintly person. So
святого.
that's the effect. I had that experience with Vishnu
У
John
меня был
Swami.
такой опыт с Вишнуджаном с вами.
You know, he just didn't want to hear any.
Он не хотел
Problem.
слышать просто никаких
He would
проблем.
just be talking about
Он просто
Radha
говорил о
Damodar, about this or that.
Мриданге, еще о чем-нибудь. о
And you
том.
just say, forget every problem.
Я просто забывал все проблемы.
And that happens if we get absorbed in a big kirtan or we read
Вот
Bhagavatam.
если мы погружаемся в киртан или читаем Бхагаватам,
If we just continue with it,
если мы просто продолжаем это
then
делать,
that effect will come and we'll just get enlivened.
этот результат не придет. Мы
Just
будем
realize
меняться.
it's all
Мы
temporary.
будем понимать, что мы поймем, что это просто время.
It's all coming and going.
Это все приходит и уходит.
So, in one sense, it's easier to renounce trouble,
В одном смысле легко от проблем просто
or to
отделиться,
tolerate it,
чем терпеть.
because we don't want it.
Потому что они нам нужны, мы их не хотим.
The bigger test is to
Более сложно
renounce
это отказаться,
pleasure.
отречься от наслаждения.
We don't want to give that up.
Этого мы не хотим.
So the things are going good, we get attached.
Когда вещи хорошо идут, мы привязываемся.
And then when it's gone, which is inevitable,
А когда это уходит, а это неизбежно,
but if we understand everything is, the material world, endlessly mutable. Endlessly mutable,
если мы поймем, что
It's always changing.
все постоянно, бесконечно изменчиво,
like the weather.
как погода.
So the mind is like that too.
Ум он тоже такой.
And the so-called trouble or pleasure is
Так называемые проблемы наслаждения.
matrasparshasta kaunteya.
Вот раз прошло такое,
It's
я-
just due to
это
mental
просто
concoction.
результат каких-то
It's not-
умственных размышлений.
Real, because it depends on our attitude.
Это зависит от нашего подхода.
two people can be in the exact same
Человек может
situation,
быть точно в той же самой ситуации.
and one is thinking this is very, very nice.
И один думает, о, это так замечательно.
Another one is thinking this is horrible.
А другой думает, это ужасно.
Like, say, the weather.
Например, погода.
If you go to the Mayapur Spring Festival,
Майпур,
sometimes it's...
весенний, осенний,
Yeah,
фестиваль,
you can see this very clearly at
вы можете
Mangalarti.
четко это увидеть
Because
на Мангаларте.
now it's hard to see because it's so crowded.
Сейчас тяжело понять, потому что очень
Years ago it wasn't so crowded, you know.
много очень людей.
You
Раньше
could
не
see
было
different devotees.
и можно было видеть разных преданных.
So there's devotees coming from
Есть преданные, которые приезжают из
Siberia or something,
Сибири или откуда-то,
you know, or Northern Europe, where, you know, where it was 50 below zero or something.
где там ниже нуля температуры.
There's devotees coming from South India where it's very
Есть
hot.
преданные, которые приезжают с Южной Индии, где очень жарко.
So if you look at Mangalarti, somebody will have on a down jacket, a big hat, scarf, you know.
Большой, короче, именно шапка,
And another person's got an ice bag on his head, you know. It's so hot here, I can't stand this heat. But the, you know, the thermometer says the same thing. So it's just a matter of perception. You know, how you, it's relative, those are relative truths. It's Einstein was famous for the theory of relativity. And when someone asked him to explain it, he said, if you're doing something you really like you're with your girlfriend or something, then time seems to go very quickly. But if you're in some suffering condition, or like you're waiting for the doctor or something, then it always looks like your clock stopped. You know? Every time you look, my God, it's not moving. Seems forever, even though it's the same amount of time. So that's relative truth. So Manu, of course, is not an ordinary person.
Ману, конечно, необычная личность.
But we should look for saintly people. Like last night, we were going over those qualities of it, godly qualities in the Bhagavatam. And somebody asked, how can we get those? Well, they are natural, spiritual.
Which qualities, Maharaj?
The qualities of a godly person.
Качество святого человека, божественного человека в Бхагаватам, и кто спросил, как можно их получить, эти качества естественно проявляются.
But if we can somehow associate with people who have those qualities,
но если мы можем общаться с людьми, у которых есть такие
then
качества,
naturally they rub off, you know.
тогда естественным образом они будут у нас тоже как бы переходить.
Everybody knows that.
Все это знают.
Hiranyakashipu says it.
Hiranyakashipu это говорит.
Association is like a touchstone.
Общение это как философский камень.
You get the qualities of whoever you associate with.
Получаете качество тех, с кем вы общаетесь.
But so we should seek association, and if you associate with,
надо искать общение, если мы общаемся с,
like the so-called Brahmanas at the time of Lord Chaitanya, when he started the Sankirtan movement, you know, they thought he'd gone crazy. They said he was a nice boy, you know, but since his father died, he got bad association with his Vaishnavas. Now he's gone crazy. He's just singing and dancing all the time. He's not studying anymore. He's not arguing with the Vaishnavas by bad association. They say bad association. The devotees are bad association. And we've seen that, you know. Someone, you know, you become vegetarian and your previous friends think something's wrong. You know, you've been associating with crazy people. You don't want to do all the sinful activities anymore. So, like I was listening to these how I came to Krishna consciousness.
Как я пришел в сознание Кришны.
So, some are saying how, they started to associate with devotees, and one devotee, Gauri. It's interesting because Gauri is like a Paka, he's considered like the ideal Hindu or something, even though he's a Scottish. He's so straight. But then he said, he was into every kind of sinful activity. But then somehow he was reading the books and he stopped at drugs, and then the girlfriend said, you're not, get out, just get out of here. So he went to the temple, he had no place else to go. You're still doing that, get out, You're not eating meat, you're not smoking, I don't want anything to do with you. That's the power of association. I was going to look up other... Anyway, so Manu is very satisfied just to see. Then, then he's going to explain why he's there. And then, like I was saying before, the etiquette that Kardama greeted him and glorified him as a king, and valued kings, and he glorified the rishis and sadhus. This proper type of association. And we need to learn these things genuinely. Like I was saying, we like to go to a high-class restaurant that has a maitre d' and welcomes you and remembers you which table you like and what kind of wine you like and everything. And you feel like you're very important. Hotel or business class on the airplane. You get special treatment. But we should always be giving special treatment. We learn that, say, like on book distribution. We have to be nice to people, you have to be friendly. For preaching, you can't just tell someone you're in Maya, you're going to hell. You have to be friendly with them. And then gradually we learn that we should be friendly with everybody, especially with each other, with devotees, because charity begins at home. Yeah, that's the saying. If you're out being nice to everybody else, but you come home and you're not nice, not good. And you never know people, but everyone has good qualities. Not everyone is like Manu or Kardama Muni, but we're fortunate to be able to associate with them. Like at one place in Prabhupada says, Narada Muni has kindly appeared on the pages of this Srimad Bhagavatam. So by reading Bhagavatam, we can associate with all these, great saintly people. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, so much. Lord Chaitanya, but Advaitacharya, Nityananda, all of them, and so many devotees. And we see how they act and
Мы
what their
видим, как они
qualities are.
ведут себя, какие их качества.
We hear their preaching.
Мы слышим их проповедь.
So it's intimate association.
Поэтому это близкое общение.
And all the purports is association with
Естественно,
Prabhupada.
это общение с Шри Прабхупадой.
But then by associating with Prabhupada, he gives us association with all the Goswamis.
Общение со всеми Госвами.
So we, that Echai Gosai Yare Charana Praka Tansabara Pada Renu Mora Panchagra. Just by accepting the lotus feet of the Goswamis, can get so much benefit.
Можно получить столько блага.
So we have their books, some of them.
Поэтому у нас есть их книги, части книг.
Of course, Nectar Devotion, that's Rupa Goswami's
Конечно, «Нектар преданности» — это
book that's most important for us.
самая главная книга Рупы Госвами.
Prabhupada said that book was especially for devotees,
Прабхупада написал, что эта книга она особо для преданных.
and it's something we should read
То, что мы нужно читать
regularly.
регулярно.
I myself, when I first joined, there weren't so many books.
Я столько книг прочитал.
We did have Nectar
У
Devotion.
нас был «Нектар преданности».
It was printed by the
Он был
ISKCON Press,
Искон пресс,
which was not very advanced press.
который был не очень
They
продвинутый.
just started.
Они только начинали.
But Prabhupada had devotees go and work at other printing companies and learn the different
Прабхупада, он послал преданных
skills.
работать в разных фирмах, издательствах.
But the Nectar Devotion, it was pretty big,
«Нектар преданности» был
paperback.
достаточно большой,
and it had kind of heavy paper and it had big print.
тяжелая бумага и большие буквы.
But as soon as you opened it, so many pages would fall out.
Ну, только вы
So
открывали,
every book we had was like
все книги, которые у нас были,
trying to keep it together.
мы пытались как-то удержать.
But we would read it every day.
Но мы читали его каждый день.
And I don't know where the devotees got this, but they said, Prabhupada said, this book
Не
is
знаю,
so
откуда преданные эти взяли.
precise that we shouldn't even comment on it, we should just read it.
Говорит, что сказал, что эта книга настолько точная,
You know, it's
что
just
не
so
нужно
complete.
просто читать, она настолько целостная.
So we would read it every day, and I
Поэтому
read it
читали
a lot.
каждый день. Я много его читал.
And then for a long time I didn't read it because we had so many other books
Я
coming, so
не
many.
читал, потому что столько много других книг выходило, печаталось.
I think I already read that in mind. I
Я
read
думаю, я
that.
уже прочитал.
But and then I have a lot of strong opinions.
И у меня есть много
You might have noticed.
мнений, может, вы заметили, у меня есть много сильных точек, строгих.
And many new devotees,
И многие новые
they-
преданные,
especially Hindus or something, they don't
особенно
like.
индии, они не хотят.
Then I started wondering myself, where did I get all these
И я
ideas?
начал думать, откуда у меня все эти идеи.
Then one day we had a ferry ride in
Однажды мы ехали,
Indonesia, 3 or 4 hours.
мы ехали на, как называется?
And the only book I had was a Nectar Devotion. That was
Единственная
before
книга,
the
которая не на лодке, на,
electronic books.
короче.
So I read it,
У меня было только...
and I found all these things
а,
right there,
и я нашел все эти вещи.
You know, very-
написанные там очень
precise
четко.
order instructions. You shouldn't do this, you should do that.
Нужно делать так.
It's a
нужно
very
делать так.
important book to read.
Это очень важная книга.
Of course, in the Bhakti Shastri, it's one of the
Конечно, Бхакти-шастра — это одна из
main books. They
основных книг.
Bhagavad Gita, Nectar Devotion.
Бхагавад-гита, «Нектар преданности».
Then I was thinking yesterday, because
Вчера я подумал,
you know, if you want to really understand
если вы хотите по-настоящему понимать
the transcendental nature of the Bhagavad Gita, for instance,
Бхагавад-гиты, например,
just read like the same chapter
просто
every
читать
day,
ту же самую главу каждый день.
or the same, however much time you have, same
Сколько-
few
в зависимости
pages.
от того, сколько у вас времени есть, может даже те же самые листья, листы просто, страницы,
Like at least 15 minutes. You
по
can tell
крайней мере,
people.
15 минут.
But read it just the same over and over
Но
again,
читать
every
то
day
же
the
самое
same way.
вновь и вновь каждый день.
Then by the end of 1 week,
Да, в конце одной недели
you'll understand that this is not an ordinary book,
вы поймете, что это необычная книга.
because you could never, it becomes better and better.
Иногда становится все лучше и лучше.
It becomes more and more revealing itself.
Он все больше и больше раскрывается,
It's just like chanting.
как повторение.
You know, we're chanting every day,
Мы повторяем каждый
and every
день.
day we get more taste for
И
it,
каждый
more
день у нас появляется больше вкуса
understanding,
и понимания.
to taking prasadam every day,
И мы просадно понимаем каждый
get
день.
more taste for prasadam,
Понимаем больше вкуса
not for
просадом,
other food.
не в другой пищи.
Prasadam ultimately, should mean it's prepared by devotees,
Просад значит, в конце концов, приготовленным преданным.
not just offered by devotees,
Не
but
просто
prepared
предложенным
by devotees.
преданным, приготовленным преданным.
Then ideally
Потом в идеале
the vegetables and whatever is grown by devotees and
Все
harvested by
овощи и так далее выращены преданными.
That's ideal. That's to have the really perfect offering.
Это по-настоящему совершенное
But
предложение.
from the ground up, it's all all produced by devotees. That's the cow is raised by devotees and milked by devotees. And then we get the perfect offering.
Тогда мы получаем совершенное подношение.
So we always have to apologize to Krishna that
Мы
we
всегда
don't
должны
have
просить
very good
прощения
stuff.
Кришне, что у нас нет очень хороших.
We don't know who grew these vegetables. We don't know what kind of chemicals they're
Мы не знаем,
using.
какие химикаты там.
But we have no
Но у
choice.
нас нет выбора.
Thank you for letting us offer
Спасибо, что
anyway.
позволяешь нам предлагать это.
But then we can gradually get more and more determined
И постепенно мы можем становиться все более и более решительными.
try to develop our
Пытаться развить наши
agricultural communities,
культурные общины.
self-sufficient communities. A few are happening in the world.
Несколько таких.
Some are very big, like
Некоторые очень большие.
Govardhan Village
Govardhan
and
Village, деревня Говардан.
Krishna Valley
Кришна
in Hungary.
Вали в Венгрии.
But there's many that we don't hear about so
Но
much.
многих мы не слышим.
Few families or even one
Несколько
family.
семей или
That are, yeah, there are all
few
over.
family
the world.
or
A few families or even sometimes one family.
или даже одна семья.
But they're living like that. They
Они
don't
живут таким образом.
take much from anybody else,
Особо не берут ничего.
producing everything themselves.
Все сами выращивают.
But we need much more of that.
Нам нужно намного больше этого.
As the world goes more and more crazy,
Чем больше мир сходит с ума.
the demons, put more and more
Демоны все больше и больше
things in the food.
вещей добавляют в пищу.
Anyway,
Так или иначе.
we're very fortunate to have this Bhagavatam.
Нам очень повезло, что у нас
So
есть
here
Бхагаватам.
we're getting association
Здесь сказано, что мы получаем общение
of Kardama Muni
Кардана Муни
and then Devahuti,
и Девахути.
which is another important
Одна важная
example
пример
of a perfect wife
совершенной жены.
and renunciation.
И также отречение.
She was attached to the husband. She didn't care about the
Она была привязана к мужу и была безразлична.
like now. I read in Japan.
Я читал, что в Японии
A lot of men they're afraid to marry the so-called beautiful girls
много мужчин, они боятся жениться на красивых девушках, так называемых красивых девушках.
because that woman will still be demanding
Потому что эта женщина она будет требовать
new clothes all the time,
новой
and,
одежды постоянно.
expensive cosmetics and
Дорогой
jewelry and
косметику,
everything.
а,
He won't be able to take care of her.
Они не смогут
So-
об этом заботиться.
But Devahuti, who was brought up in
Которая была-
inconceivable opulence, we couldn't
Она
imagine.
росла в вообще невероятном,
You know,
вы не можете
surrounded
представить
by
богатство, которое-
These
которое
princesses who had hundreds of
Принцессы,
maidservants,
они были окружены сотнями служанок,
fixing their hair all the
которые
time,
постоянно
giving them baths
волосы,
and
там, как это,
new clothes every
расчесывали,
couple times a day, and
пару раз в день новая одежда.
right?
То есть
And
умывали их, то есть
no anxiety over anything.
никаких вообще беспокойств.
Never had to do any kind of work.
Никогда не нужно было работать.
But trained
Но они были обучены
in a service attitude towards the husband, submissive.
так, чтобы они,
Trained.
у них было
Spiritual training was there.
и духовное также.
The women also did get trained. It wasn't like they were just
Это не то, что женщины
in the
вообще
closet.
жили лежали в шкафу, то есть их обучали.
When saintly people came in the palace,
Когда
and the girls would hear it also.
святые люди, девушки также слушали их.
They just didn't go to Gurukul
Они
or
просто не
something,
ходили в Гурукул,
but they were trained
но они получали
Mother.
обучение, подготовку
by the example of their mother.
в виде примера своей матери.
So she never thought about it. She
Она
just
никогда не думала об этом.
knew that this is,
Она знала, что это...
and it's just like some people
Некоторые люди, они приходят,
become devotees,
становятся преданными,
like Purijan Prabhu's wife.
как жена Буриджана Прабху,
What's her name?
как ее зовут?
Anyway, she was a big movie star.
Она была большая кинозвезда
She was in Australia
в Австралии.
in some big movies.
В больших фильмах.
She was Mick Jagger's girlfriend in one movie,
В какой-то фильме она была подружкой Мик Джаггера.
in the Ned Kelly movie.
Нет.
You don't know, Ned Kelly is a famous
Это фильм Нет.
famous criminal of Australia.
Известный криминал в
He
Австралии.
was the legendary criminal. He's Jesse James of Australia. You don't know Jesse James.
Какие-то, в
But
общем.
anyway, she was in that movie. But then she was becoming a devotee,
И она стала преданной.
and she went to Los Angeles
Она поехала в
for
Лос-Анджелес.
some work, gonna be in Hollywood.
Какую-то работу в Голливуде.
and she was kind of giving up on the devotees.
И она уже чуть не оставила преданное служение.
But somebody gave her something
Кто-то дал ей что-то,
and asked her to give this to Prabhupada.
кто-то ей что-то дал, чтобы она передала Шрила Прабхупаде.
So she went to the temple and then she met
Поэтому она
Prabhupada.
пришла в храм.
And she stayed in the temple and she
остановилась
just
в храме
became a simple
и
brahmacharini.
стала простой брамачариной.
And then Prabhupada said, there's a boy in Hong Kong and he wants to get
И
married.
Прабхупада сказал,
Would
есть
you like to
мальчик
get
в
married?
Гонконге,
She said, okay.
который хочет жениться. Хочешь жениться на нем? Она сказала, хорошо.
And so later in Australia,
Потом в Австралии
she was in the temple.
она была в храме.
And a lot of reporters were coming. They wanted to see Prabhupada.
Много
and they were-
репортеров приходили, они хотели встретить Шрилу Прабхупаду.
So the devotees were trying to think how to
Преданные
get
пытались
them away
подумать,
from
как
Prabhupada.
их убрать от Шрилы Прабхупады.
So they told her, she's here.
А
They
знаете,
said
вот она здесь, вот это,
whatever her name was.
такое имя было.
So they got all excited.
Они очень все
And they
воодушевились
interviewed her, and
и взяли интервью у нее.
how can she give up all
Как она
this
могла оставить
fame and fortune that she had before?
известную славу и...
And they had the picture of her, washing dishes or something with a sari over her
И
head.
была у них фотография, как она моет посуду в саре на голове, с накрытой головой.
And then they showed a picture of her before in a very unmodest
И
dress.
показали ее фотографию до этого в очень как сказать, не скромной одежде.
And, how she changed.
И как она...
And she never thought about it.
Она даже об этом
Just
никогда не
happy to
думала.
be a devotee.
Она была рада, счастлива быть преданной.
Travel with the husband.
И путешествовать с мужем.
And, wasn't easy.
Это не было легко.
Like, they never really lived together until
Они никогда особо не
like
жили
10 years
вместе.
ago. Or so.
До...
Until like 10 years ago,
10 лет назад только.
they were always both working and they were in the same place, but
Они были в том же самом месте, но
they weren't really living like normal
не жили
family.
как нормальные семьи вместе.
So somebody showed Prabhupada that magazine. She didn't want Prabhupada to see it because it had this
Этот
picture.
журнал, она не хотела, чтобы Шрила Прабхупада увидел это.
So Prabhupada looked through and then he
Прабхупада
saw that
смотрел,
picture.
увидел эту фотографию.
He said, just see how she looks so unhappy.
Смотрите, как она выглядит, очень несчастной.
That was a time when she's supposed to be happy.
Это было то, когда она типа должна
She's
была
famous.
быть самой счастливой, известной.
But she was really happy when she gave it all up. So
Счастлива, когда всё это-
many devotees like that.
Много преданных.
I was telling the other day about Bhubaneswar, the cook,
Я
and
рассказывал о
the head
Бхуванешваре.
cook in Vrindavan.
Это главный повар в Вриндаване.
So he joined the temple
Он присоединился в храм.
and he was working in the incense factory with me. So
Он работал со мной
we were friends.
в заводе изготовления благовоний, и поэтому подружились.
But he didn't like that, so he volunteered for Sankirtan.
Поэтому он волонтерствовал, в Санкиртане участвовать.
But it's a very interesting story.
Это
But
очень
many
интересная
things.
история, много
So-
деталей интересных.
He told me one day, he said, I have a lot of money. What do you
Он
think I
однажды
should
сказал
do with
мне,
it?
у меня много денег, как ты думаешь, что мне с ним делать?
So I said, well, you should give it to the
Я
temple.
сказал, должен отдать их в храм.
He said, okay. And he had like $10,000 or
У него
something.
было $10 000, что такое. Просто отдал их в храм.
Never thought about it.
Никогда об этом даже не задумывался.
In those days, in 1971,
В те дни, в 70-е годы, 10
for a single man, it's a lot of money.
одного,
could enjoy quite a bit.
человека, это очень большие деньги.
Could buy a
Крутые
Cadillac car,
можно
actually,
было купить
for
Cadillac.
$7,000.
За $7 000 можно было Cadillac.
My father bought the most expensive car in America.
Самую дорогую
It was
машину
like
в Америке,
$8,000.
самую, за $80.
So he just gave it.
Просто отдал.
Then he was telling me, he said, for a long time,
Долгое время.
and now he's the head cook in
Сейчас
Vrindavan
он
for
главный повар
many,
в
many years.
Вриндаване, много лет.
He said his friends were saying, you come to the Sunday program in the Hare Krishna.
Друзья все время говорили, приходи на воскресный пир Харе Кришны.
He said, no, they don't serve any meat there. I
Он
don't.
нет, они мясо не подают.
finally went,
В конце концов он пришел,
and then he liked it. He just joined.
и он присоединился.
But he didn't want to go where there's no meat.
Но не хотел ходить туда, где мясо нет.
So many devotees have
Много преданных
given up everything.
оставили все.
He has to be careful.
И
There was one boy
осторожно.
in Chicago,
Мальчик в Чикаго.
and he was like the most simple
Он
brahmachari
был
ever.
такой простой брамачари.
He never had nice clothes.
Никогда не было красивого.
He was always studying.
Он всегда учился.
We'd find him hiding like down in the
Мы
basement
находили его.
behind
Он
everything,
прятался в
studying
подвале
Bhagavad Gita.
и изучал Бхагавад-гиту.
And his parents were very rich.
Его родители были очень богатыми.
His father was the editor of Playboy magazine,
Его отец был редактором магазина Playboy,
and his mother was a reporter for some big magazine.
а его мама была репортером.
She interviewed Prabhupada.
Она интервью взяла у Прабхупады,
But then they were killed in a plane crash,
но они погибли самолет разбился.
and he inherited everything.
И он
Millions of
получил
dollars,
миллионы
big
долларов
house.
наследства, огромный дом.
And he went to live in that big house, and he completely forgot.
И пошел жить в этом доме и полностью забыл.
You have to be careful.
Поэтому нужно быть осторожным.
Anyway, that's the point.
В этом суть.
We get a higher taste,
Если мы получаем более высокий вкус,
everything else is easy to give
все
up the lower
остальное
taste.
легко
But to give the higher taste, like you have to
оставить.
pray for it and you have to take it.
Получить этот высокий вкус надо
I'm
молиться
finding
о
that to
нем,
be a very.
взять его.
I recently noticed that I had read that many times, but didn't catch it.
Нахожу эти наставления очень важным. Я обратил внимание недавно, что я много раз это читал, и не заметил, не обратил внимания.
Pray for the holy name and take it.
Молись о святом имени и возьми его.
Beg
Умоляй.
and take it. Beg for the holy name. Don't
Умоляй
beg for
получить. Не молись о нем, а
sense
умоляй.
gratification. You
Не
can do that
не
also.
просите, не
Krishna,
умоляй
please give me.
получить
Oh
чувственное
Lord,
наслаждение.
won't you buy me
О Господь,
a Mercedes
почему
Benz?
бы тебе не купить мне Мерседес?
My friends all got Porsche.
У всех
I
моих
got
друзей
to make
Porsche.
a move.
Мне так
Oh
надо.
Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Почему тебе не купить мне
So
Мерседес?
if you could read minds, and
Если
if
вы
you went in a
читать умы,
temple or church, you
и
would hear
пошли в
that.
храм или в церковь, вы
Quite a
услышите так много таких
It
молитв.
sounds like a joke, but
Это звучит как
it's
анекдот.
an intelligent comment on
Но
you
это
know,
разумный
Dharma
комментарий.
Projikaitavotra. The Bhagavatam rejects all religion which is
Бхагаватам
maturely motivated.
отказывается от всех религий, которые материально мотивированы.
Okay, so we'll stop there.
Мы остановимся здесь.
Like Prabhupada gave the example how he met his guru. And
Как он встретил своего гуру.
he was arguing at
Он
first
спорил с ним поначалу,
that India has to first become independent. How can we preach? And
стать независимым, иначе как можно проповедовать.
Bhaktisiddhanta explained that Lord Chaitanya's teachings is
Учение
beyond all that.
за пределами
There's nothing to do with,
никакой связи с...
any of that. So Prabhupada was convinced.
Поэтому Прабхупада поставил.
Because he knew anyway scripture and
Он
everything.
знал так или иначе Писание.
But he was caught up in the Gandhi movement.
Но он был очень как-то замешан в движении Ганди.
But he became convinced and started thinking, how
Он
can I,
стал убежденным, начал...
even though he was
Хотя он
newly married
был
and
только что
new job and
новая работа.
he said he couldn't do it at the time. He said I should have later.
Он говорит, он не мог...
But he was always thinking,
Потом говорит, что я должен был бы, но не мог. Он постоянно думал.
and he started writing things in
Он начал
English,
писать,
preaching.
на английском проповедовать.
He was always thinking, how can I do this?
Как я могу это сделать?
He accepted Bhaktisiddhanta in his heart as
Принял
his guru
Бхактисиданта
right away,
как гуру сразу.
even though he wasn't initiated for 11
Хотя он
years.
не получил посвящение долгое время.
Okay, so we'll stop. I have no questions today.
Сегодня нет времени на
I
вопросы.
get ready to go
Готовиться выезжать.
to the Dead Sea.